Good morning, world. It's your boy Jack. Just wanted to quick check in with everyone real quick. It's been a minute since my last post, last video. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to everyone, all the comments and the support and the encouragement, inspiration. It goes a long way. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for just taking the time to even listen to me ramble or rant, whichever one it is. I never know until I get started. If you happen to like these videos that I do or this content that I provide, please like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. I'm also open to suggestions if you want to hear something in particular about me, about my life, what I've endured, what I've overcome, and things of that nature. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about how bad do you want to heal, right? And when I say you, I mean me. Like, at what lengths will I go to in order for me to be a whole person or heal the whole self, mentally, spiritually, physically, things of that nature, right? You know, I've selectively chose to work on pieces of me or parts of me, not even pieces of me, but parts of me, because there's a lot of pain or unresolved or untreated or unaddressed trauma that I've endured over the course of my life. I'm not going to say short life because I'm a little seasoned these days, but in 51 years of living, I've endured quite a bit, or I've overcame quite a bit. And it's really because I just kind of pushed it down and didn't want to think about it, or in my past, I self-medicated to numb the feelings for it to go away, but it always came back, right? And so, believe it or not, a lot of the suggestions that I've received over the years about healing myself, they seem so simplistic, or they seem no nonsense to me. Like, man, deep breathing exercises aren't going to work. Journaling is not going to work. Counseling, that's not going to work. None of those things, none of those things I felt at that time were going to be healing for me or resolve the issues, the underlying issues that I had going on. But during this journey of recovery and self-discovery, I've learned that all of those things actually really work. When it comes to the subject matter of Jack, I'm the best expert when it comes to Jack, right? And so why not, is what I'll say. Why not allow myself to heal? Why not allow myself to become whole, right? I enjoy life to the fullest today. I'm what they tend to call an adrenaline junkie, and I like that fast rush, right? And so I'm willing to try the biggest coaster around. Or over the holidays, we went what is called tubing. We went tubing, and so I wanted to find the biggest peak in the area to go down to give me that much more speed. And so I'm willing to go to any lengths for the name of fun, but I find myself not willing to go to any lengths in the name of healing, right? What do you mean by that, Jack, right? I tend to stay busy or put myself in a busy situation all the time, because when I'm left alone by myself, to myself, I remember stuff and that I don't want to remember or I don't want to deal with, right? So I don't like being alone with me, so I tend to create distractions, work too much, play too much, or my favorite one, find someone else to try to help them to get to a place that I'm unwilling to go. So it almost sounds kind of hypocritical when I think about it or I say it out loud. So here lately, I've been reading the daily meditations. I've been doing deep breathing exercises, and I've been threatening the journal, but I haven't started it yet. But I know it's a thing, because being able to put my thoughts down on paper and see them, I can actually see them for what they really are. They're probably tied to a feeling or an emotion, something that I don't sit comfortable with, and so I don't like discomfort, and so I want to put the pen down, and I never want to open the memo book and write about me. But believe it or not, there's power in the pen and the paper. There's healing in the pen and the paper. There's healing in the grounding exercises that keeps me focused on the here and now, not yesterday, not what's in front of me, but in the present, right? And the present isn't that bad. It's only as bad as I make it out to be. I'm always gifted an opportunity to help someone, and every time I'm gifted that said opportunity to help someone, I'm actually gifted with an opportunity to heal myself. I did a training last week, and it brought up a lot of trauma, a lot of issues, a lot of unresolved issues. I guess we'll call it. And I purposely chose not to deal with those. Right? I hear people say it all the time that I don't have time for me. And I've used that excuse as well. You know, I have a job, and I have a family, and I have a wife, and I have dogs, and I'm always wanting to be of service to someone. So I put everyone else before I put myself as a priority, right? And even when you ride an airplane, for those of us that's ever ridden an airplane, you know, they do the little spiel, and the stewardess, you know, captain tells you, or the stewardess tells you, hey, in case of an accident and the oxygen mask fall from the top panel, place your oxygen mask on you first before you try to help someone else. So at some point, I need to think about self-preservation. Self-preservation is the number one law of nature, and I steady put everybody else before me. My focus is never me. And the easiest excuse, again, is for me to say, I don't have time. How do you don't have time for you? Right? You put the job before you, right? You put the kids before you. You put the mate before you, right? And then if you're anything like me, before it's all said and done, I'm running around with my, like a chicken with my head cut off, and I'm having anxiety attacks. I'm having panic attacks. I feel like there's this huge pressure, the weight of the world that's on my chest that's not allowing me to breathe properly, and I'm just overwhelmed. And then from there, I tend to go into a manic state, and I purposely use the word manic because a lot of times the only time you hear that word manic is when people are talking about mental illnesses or mental health challenges, right? But mania is a thing. My anxiety, my heart rate revs up, my blood pressure elevates and everything, and then my anxiety pushes me to a point where I'm having short, impulsive thoughts, sporadic thoughts, not even a complete thought, right? Sporadic thoughts that I'm just from one topic to the next, and so what I leave behind is a trail of undone tasks because I'm moving from this one to the next one, this one to the next one, this one to the next one, because my mania won't allow me to slow down, to focus, which is why a grounding exercise comes in handy, because now I'm able to ground myself in the moment, slow myself down long enough so I can focus on one task at a time and complete that task. Being that I'm a veteran, I'm task oriented, it's like mission success all the time, all the way, right? And so once I'm grounded, then I'm able to think about what's my next plan of action. What do I do next? My follow through is a lot better. Rather than, doing several different things and leaving debris behind of half done tasks. So I don't know if that made any sense to anyone, but it makes sense to me. So in closing, what I will say is make time for you. Nobody's more important than you. It's not selfish for you to take care of you, because if you don't put the mask on you, how can you help anybody else? How can you help your kids? How can you help your husband? How can you help your wife? How can you help your colleagues? And if you're in a direct care field like myself, then how can you help others when you're fragile, when you're broken? You're not even taking the time to heal yourself. How can I want happiness and peace for someone more than I want happiness and peace for myself? Right? So these are some of the questions I ask myself all the time. And believe it or not, I answer myself, right? Let no one emotionally blackmail you into thinking taking care of you is a selfish act. It's not, right? It's truly not. It's the kindest act I can ever give myself is to put me first. You can't pour from an empty cup, is what I'll say. So I don't know if this little ramble or rant helped anyone. It helped me a lot to get these kind of things out of my mind. And on video, which is difficult for me still to this day. But I'm glad that my rants or rambles tend to help people, and I'll keep posting contents. And so please pass on the information to anyone else that you feel like might benefit. Like and subscribe, and peace.